Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jesse Brower coming at you live, depending on what part of the wonderful world you are tuning in from. You are watching the Tuition Free School of Entrepreneurship show. And if you'll give me a moment, I'm just going to share this to one of my groups so we can get right into it. I appreciate your patience while I do that. We have a special guest on today. Her name is Gladys Anna Guinez. Is that how you say that?
Actually, it's Guanyes. It's like a Spanish name, but I'm pure
Guanez.
Filipino. Yep.
Terrific, terrific. Okay, excellent. So just getting this shared really quickly here, guys, and some people will tune in here in a moment. All right, so we got that, and then we're going to share this to the group. All right, and here we go. All right, guys, great. So I noticed that three of you just hopped on, so we'll just start again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jesse Brower coming at you live. This is the Tuition Free School of Entrepreneurship show. We have the special guest, Gladys Anna. Help me out.
Guanyes.
Guanez, Gladys Anna Guanez on the show today, and she is a LinkedIn expert. And today we're going to be going over why that's important and what it can do for your entrepreneurship and what it can do for your entrepreneurial career. But first, before we get into that, I'm going to just, for the people that are just hopping on for the first time to the show, I'm going to let you know what the show's about, why we do it. So my name is Jesse Ryan Brower. I spent 3 years in the Philippines from 2015 to 2018. It was actually 35 and a half months. So basically 2 weeks shy of a full 3 years. And while I was there, I fell in love with the Philippines. You got the chocolate hills like behind me. You got the beaches. You got the wonderful people. My wife is a pure Filipino from Bohol. And I just really fell in love with the people there. And I was able to live and work there through my computer. And we've been back in the United States since 2018. But the reason why we do this show, guys, is the Tuition Free School of Entrepreneurship show is designed to bring experts from all around the world onto this show, and I will ask them targeted questions on your behalf and draw their wisdom out. Find out, how did you become an entrepreneur? What challenges did you have along the way? What mindset? What do you do in the morning? How do you keep going? What is it that motivates you? So we get all of this value from these highly successful entrepreneurs and bring it to you on this show. So that's the purpose of it. And we have a major target in the Philippines. So we bring experts from around the world and then we target the Philippines as the major audience. Number two, I love doing it. People have been telling me that I have a radio voice all of my life. And I just decided, it's time to do something. And so we're doing it. And number three, I get to learn from experts like Gladys and many others. And, I'm a firm believer that who you surround yourself with is who you become. So I like to surround myself with experts and I get to learn in the process. So that is the purpose of the Tuition Free School of Entrepreneurship show. We have a Facebook page. We have a Facebook group for Filipinos everywhere. And you guys can just totally check that out and feel free to join and invite your friends as well. So again, we have Gladys on the show today. She is a LinkedIn expert. She has actually been
Mhm.
able to turn this into a career for herself. She is a full-time freelancer. She does not have a day job. She is able to become full-time in this, and that is because she has set herself apart with her results. Right?
Mm.
She's been able to actually make a living with this, guy. So she's doing full-time freelancing, which is incredible. So with that, I would like to allow you to introduce yourself for a couple of minutes before I get into these very specific questions.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you so much, Jesse, for inviting me for this short interview. And well, yeah, I'm Gladys, and I help coaches, consultants, as well as digital marketing agencies to make their LinkedIn profile an asset that it should be. And I do that by optimizing their profile, make it an all-star profile, make it complete, client facing. What I mean is it would talk about what's in it for their ideal clients if they started to work with that certain person. And I also do account management on LinkedIn if they'd like to move forward with that. So, yep, that's basically it.
Terrific. Great introduction. Thanks for introducing yourself.
Mm.
Great. So, Gladys, where did you start out? Like, where did you grow up? What made you decide to become an entrepreneur and get involved in freelancing to begin with? Well, like, how did your life begin, and then how did that lead into entrepreneurship to where you are today?
It's a long story, but I'll try to keep it short. Well, I'm born and raised here in the Philippines, and uh, back when I was in school, I'm an overachiever. I mean, I always graduate with honors. In elementary, I graduated valedictorian. I'm not sure if you have that same
Right.
thing in the U.S. And when I was in high school, I also graduated with honors. But then when I got into college, I actually admitted myself in the what I call the most prestigious school here in the Philippines, which is the University of the Philippines. You know, and I got in.
Awesome.
However, something happened. I mean, I was not that focused at that time, so I flunked a subject there. And what I did was I stopped schooling, and then I decided to go back to my province, which is 3 hours away from Manila, the center of the capital of the Philippines. And uh, well, it took me 10 years to graduate college after that because I'm not clear with my goals. I'm not clear what I want to become. So I shift courses, and sometimes I also stop schooling and then start again. Start to work, start school again, things like that. And then last 2018, I graduated after 10 years in college. I graduated magna cum laude with a degree of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English, and I took the board exam to be a licensed professional teacher. And then after that, I taught as a college instructor for 1 month in the school that I graduated from, and that's just for this summer semester. And it only it only lasted for a month because I knew in my heart that it's not something that I want to do. You know, as I grow older, I don't want to do that for 40 years or so. So what I did was I tried to find other things that I can do at home so that I can also earn money at the comfort in my own home. And the first thing that I did was I teach online. I teach English to other Asian countries that need help with that. I teach Japanese students, Korean students, and all that. And while doing that thing, the online ESL teaching, I came across a Facebook group that talks about being a virtual assistant. So I was very curious. I joined different groups that are talking about being a virtual assistant, and in the process, I became one. But then, being a virtual assistant per se, um, back then, I don't think that I was doing it as an entrepreneur. I mean, I treated it as a job instead of a business, and that's kind of different, right? It's a different mindset when you're working with something that you feel like I want to work with this certain client for a long time because I'm an online employee of this client. And so when I found out about another course, I enrolled in a premium course that taught about LinkedIn, and I really enjoyed doing it. So in the long run, I decided to focus on specializing on that. And that's when I started becoming a LinkedIn strategist. Right now, focusing on optimizing LinkedIn profiles for coaches and consultants because most of them they don't have an optimized profile on LinkedIn, and I think that's very helpful because it's something that would attract your ideal clients, especially if they are on LinkedIn as well. So that's pretty much the long story short.
Great. So that's how you got started in it. So I heard you say that
Mhm.
you enrolled in a course. Was that an
Yep.
online course? Was that paid? How did you do that?
That's a paid course under a Filipino LinkedIn strategist, and his name is Joel Cabral. Hi, Coach Joel. And yep, that's one of the courses that I enrolled in. And then I also joined a community of six-figure freelancers here in the Philippines, and that's the current tribe that I'm in. And that's actually the tribe that has gotten me to have this mindset of an entrepreneur. Like you treat your online business as a business, and you are not just doing it as an online employee. So that's how it all started.
Wow. So you were absolutely surrounding yourself with successful people, and
Yep.
you were doing that through an online community.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
okay. So were you meeting these people face to face as well, or was it really mostly just online?
Mostly just online because I'm in the province, but and also due to COVID, right? We can really meet face to face, but sometimes there
Right.
are events wherein those freelancers can also meet at one place.
Got it. Got it. Got it. But a lot of the learning on that took place really on the computer.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Got it. So how important would you say, you know, having your social media and specifically your LinkedIn really tuned in is for somebody who is an aspiring entrepreneur or somebody who already is an entrepreneur? How important
Mhm.
is it to have your online presence looking pro, in your
Mhm.
opinion?
It's really important, especially if you are just starting out and you want to look, what, how do I say it, like legit to your target market, right? Because when you start out being an entrepreneur, first you have to pick your market, right? And that's how you start. And then you pick a specialization or a skill that you can offer to that certain market so that uh, it'd be easier for you to sell that something because it fits the market. So to optimize the profile, it's really important because first it will help you attract your ideal clients, especially if they are on LinkedIn as well, right? And based from a statistic that I read the other day, at least two people signs up on LinkedIn every 2 seconds.
Wow.
So yeah, there are 600 million people at the moment, I think, something like that. So that's the first thing. It will help you attract your ideal clients if they are on LinkedIn, which I think they are because, business people are there. It's like the social media platform for businesses, right? Second thing is that it will make you stand out from the rest of your competition on LinkedIn. As I said, there are millions of people on LinkedIn. So if you optimize your profile, it makes you stand out from the other people that are also offering the same service as you do. And the third, and I think the most important thing is it will also speak about your personal brand. Your LinkedIn profile, it should be an asset, right? It's something that you put out there so that people can view it, just like a website or a Facebook page or something like that.
So it's kind of like a digital business card in a sense.
Yep, something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Got it. Got it. So you, in your opinion, it's really important to have that optimized and looking pro. Got it.
Because the benefit of that is that if supposedly an ideal client got to view your profile, and then it's not speaking about what's in it for that certain ideal client of yours. Um, they would just click away from your profile, right? But if it speaks about what's in it for them, the benefit that they would have if they start to work with you, then maybe they would contact you through your profile.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, I agree with you 100%. I think having your online presence is crucial, and especially in times like this where
Mm-hmm.
everything is online, and if you're not online, everybody's paying somebody to help them get online, right? So I agree with you 100% on that. So, um, back to freelancing specifically, since this is the Tuition Free School of Entrepreneurship show, I think you answered it a little bit already. But how does one go about getting
Mm-hmm.
into freelancing and entrepreneurship? Like, say they're working in a motorcycle shop today, and all they have is their cell phone, and they've got a little bit of 50 peso load, and that's it. How can
Mm-hmm.
that person with a cell phone and a little
Mm-hmm.
50 peso load get into freelancing today? And what steps would you tell them to take? I mean, maybe they can't even pay for a paid course. What can they do to get
Mm-hmm.
started freelancing and being entrepreneurial online today? Can you speak on that for a minute?
Yes, for sure. I think the most important thing is to have a clear mindset first. I mean, the clarity, right? The clarity on who you really help. That's important. You should define your market, and then the thing that you sell, it should fit to that certain market. And then once you have that, of course, you have your unique mechanism on how you help those people, right? And then optimizing your profile. It's free, right? And you can easily do that by just maybe starting with your headline or your bio, like tell them who you help. I help these kind of people to get this kind of result by doing this, and then that way you can already attract people to reach out to you and ask about your service, what it is that you can help them with, right?
Got it. So even somebody who is, maybe not making much money, they don't have even a computer or a laptop, even just a cell phone. Somebody in their position, they shouldn't use that as an excuse
Mm,
to not do anything. In other words, they should go ahead and optimize their online presence and make themselves come off as completely pro, because that can actually catapult them and get them maybe some freelancing jobs. Maybe they can even use
Mm.
their cell phone to start making content on like the free version of Canva on their cell phone and selling that to foreign clients. Um, but in order for that to happen, they probably need to really look pro on their profiles, whether it be Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn, and in your case specifically LinkedIn. And
Yep.
and so your thoughts are, is that somebody that maybe, you know, they're not set up, they're not in an office, they can come across as looking very professional, even just being on a very basic situation.
Yes, that's right. And I think another tip that I want to give is to always have a certain call to action in your profile. Like if you want people to visit, I mean, to text you maybe because you only have a cell phone, right? Put your cell phone number in there so that if they are interested, they can contact you directly, right? Or if you want people to email you, put your email in there. If you want people to call you, put your booking link or something like that. Because if you don't have that and they are interested, you know, people are busy people, right?
Right.
Especially nowadays, people are really busy doing other stuff. So just make their life easier by putting a call to action on how they can reach out to you directly if they are interested with your service.
Glad you brought that up. And as you guys can see on the bottom of the screen, you know, text the word profile to 63906 823 2855 for a free LinkedIn profile audit. So we've got a
Mm-hmm.
professional here. She does this for a living, guys. This is what she does for a living. She is full-time freelancing entrepreneur, and she's a LinkedIn pro. There's a huge
Mm-hmm.
market for that. And you guys, she will audit your profile for free. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so text that number, and you can get a hold of her that way. That's the way that you want to reach her. That is her WhatsApp phone number, so you can get right through. And yeah, I agree with you 100% on having a phone number visible in different ways, because a phone number, people like to text, and people
Mm-hmm.
open text. Texting has like a 97% open rate, whereas like if you post something on social media, you know, it's like maybe a 5%. If you've got like 100 friends, maybe five are going to see that post, right? But if
Mm-hmm.
if if uh, if you're doing texting, you know that person's going to open that text message, you know, nine
Yep.
times out of 10, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely, I found that to be very true, and I know that it will also be true in the Philippines, using the telephone for texting. And I know some of you guys have voicemail, some of you don't, but voicemails are powerful too, in my experience. Okay, so for you, for you personally, what is your big why? Like, why do you choose entrepreneur? Why not? Why not just? You said you were a teacher before. Why not just be a
Mm-hmm.
teacher? Why not just go back to working a 9 to 5 and, you know, just settle in? I mean, why be an entrepreneur? What's in it? What's in it for you, or what's in it for your passion? Why do you do this?
Well, the biggest thing for me is I have this what I call the Polaris of mine, the North Star, something that I look up to. It's my ultimate goal, and that's to live the lifestyle I want, right? And in order to do that, I mean, I love teaching, and I have nothing against other teachers that are continue doing it. However, for me, it's different because I myself is an introvert, right? And I like working at home. I like being with my family. You know, having the time to play with my puppy whenever I wanted. I wanted to check him out. So yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, to live the lifestyle. And when I say lifestyle, it's not just about earning six-figure income a month. I mean, because there would come a point wherein you are earning so much more than you'd like to, I mean, you'd ever imagine, right? And when you have that kind of money, it means nothing anymore. I mean, not really nothing, but it doesn't mean as much as it does before when you were just starting out. So your priorities would change, right? Your priorities would be I want more time with my family. I want to live the life that I'm not slaving myself to work 9 to 5. I want more time for myself to do other things to improve myself in other ways aside from this thing that I'm doing. So yeah, that's the lifestyle that I want. So, and I think that's the main reason why I started to be an online entrepreneur myself.
Got it. So it comes down to time freedom for you and the ability to do what you want when you want.
Mm, yep, yep.
Yeah, I think that's huge. And that, I mean, for me, that's a big deal. I want location freedom and I want time freedom, and that's why I am building entrepreneurship. And
Mm,
you know, that's what you can do. You can build your own dreams, you guys. Let me just tell you, let me just speak to the audience right now. You can build your own dream, and you don't have to wait for permission from anybody. God put you on this earth with a free will, and you can build your own dreams. We have Gladys who is doing it. She
Mm,
stepped away from the corporate world, from the 9 to 5, the rat race, and she's building her own dreams now on her own time, doing what she wants when she wants, and she's making a living at it. And you can do the same. That's
mm,
what this show is about, you guys, is giving you guys freedom, inspiring, planting seeds so that you will break free and go and build something. There's nothing wrong with working a job. There's nothing wrong with being entrepreneurial in your job. Okay. Some of us are going to have lots of employees, and we need to treat those employees well. And we need to remember that we don't judge people who have a job. We're not elite. There's
mm,
none of that. Okay. But it just comes down to, what do we want in life personally? Why do
mm,
we want to be entrepreneurs, right? And so you think about that, and for me, it's those things, and there's other reasons as well, and we'll get into those. But
mm,
you have to find out what is it that is pushing you, because there's going to be set failures. There's going to be times when you're an entrepreneur in the beginning where you're not having that consistent cash flow. And then, are you going to continue?
that's
And,
right.
like, what is your why? What is your purpose? Because if you don't have that clear purpose and understanding of what it is that you're doing this for, more than likely you're not going to have the energy that it takes to continue moving forward. For me, I want to teach entrepreneurship in the Philippines until the day I die. This is my passion. I found it. I believe that this is what I'm going to be doing forever. I'll have my businesses, I'll build those, but my passion project, my ability to do teaching entrepreneurship in the Philippines is that's me. And I also want to eradicate dengue fever. And for me to do
Mm,
that, I need money. And for me to get money on my terms, and the way that I do it is entrepreneurship. So that's my why. She's explained to you her why. And I would encourage all of you folks who are watching this show right now to just sit down and figure it out. Like, what lifestyle do you want? Who do you want to help? Like, I mean, do you want to be able to have time freedom? And again, never start thinking of yourself on a high horse because you're an entrepreneur, because you can go through humbling experiences and be flat on your ass. Okay.
mm,
I've had it happen to me, riding the high wave, and then all of a sudden you're broke. And then when I was in my early 20s, I was high on the horse. I was making money, and I was thinking, I was this kick-ass entrepreneur. Well, guess what? I used to judge people that had a shovel in their hand because I was 22 years old and I was making all this money. Well, you know what? God had to teach me a lesson, because that's not how it goes. We do entrepreneurship because that's what we want to do. And when we get to those high levels, we don't judge people. If you do that, you're cruising for a bruising, as we say in the United States, because God has special ways of humbling you. So don't allow yourself to become puffed up. Once you start
mm,
making money, 6 figures, 7 figures, again, a lot of us are going to have a lot of employees. And we can encourage our employees to be entrepreneurial in their job. And there's nothing wrong with being an employee. But what is it that you want? Do you want to build somebody else's dream for the rest of your life, or do you want to step away and go and create something, build your own dream, and also provide jobs to people as well, and build something of value in the community, in the world, right? So that's my take on it, and I wanted to speak to the audience for just a minute. So we know your why. Who have you been following? Who have you been looking up to in the past? I know you mentioned one, but what books, podcasts, YouTube channels, any of that stuff that really
mm.
has helped you along the way?
Well, I have one mentor that I follow here in the Philippines, and I'm not sure if you know him. I think you're friends with him somehow. His name is John Pagulayan, and he's like the tribe leader of our community. I mean, the
Okay.
community that earns six-figure income per month or more, right? So that's one. And then another one that I follow is an international LinkedIn strategist, and his name is John Nemo. I'm not sure if people know him, but I know him because I'm a LinkedIn strategist. So they can follow his stuff completely free, but he also offers premium courses. I myself, I just follow his free stuff. I mean, I listen to his podcast. I join his webinar whenever he has a weekly webinar about LinkedIn and other stuff as well. So, yep.
Terrific. Okay. So, and
Mhm.
has that been impactful for you? I mean, it sounds
Yep.
like it's been so super impactful, right? Being able to follow these people who are where you want to be, and listening to them and surrounding yourself with them and looking up to them. So, and that's, for me, that's been everything. I mean, for me, it's been incredibly crucial to have mentors and people that I look up to and follow the advice. Like Manny Lopez is somebody that I really look up to. And there's others, that I follow and look at and things, but he's really been,
Mhm.
incredible. Um, and just speaking to the crowd again, that's important, guys. Find somebody that can mentor you, that can hold you accountable. And a lot of times people that are very successful, if they're genuinely successful, a lot of times they're willing to give you that knowledge because they do want to give back. And you'd be surprised. And not all of them. Some of them are going to shut you down. I've reached out to so many successful people through Facebook trying to get a conversation. And sometimes people are rude. Like they think they're high on the horse, they're up there, they don't want nothing to do with you. And then, they might just shut but you know what though? More people than that have been more than willing to actually talk to me and just communicate with me, reaching out to them, because people that are successful oftentimes want to share and give back because they've got all this, freedom and money now, and they have a I don't want to call it a complex, but they know they need to be giving back. So it's like they're willing, it's like it's almost just ready to pop. They're ready to overflow, and you would be surprised how many of these people. I mean, I've literally been messaging back and forth with Steve C, and I guess he's like the Jack Ma of the Philippines, and the guy is super humble. Like, and we're just messaging, and one of these days, I guarantee you, I can't guarantee you, but my goal is to get him on this show, and that I'm going to be working him for the next few months and trying to make that happen. But guys like him, you would be surprised how much they're going to be willing to, and other guys that will be willing to teach you and show you and mentor you, and not necessarily for a fee. Some people will just do it because you're asking them to. And especially if you're just starting out, you're working in a motorcycle shop and you're really at the bottom, and you start reaching out to people on Facebook, and you just be a sponge for knowledge. And you ask them, hey, tell them your situation. Hey, I'm making 100 pesos a day over here. I'm laboring, but I've got my cell phone. I've got the internet. Reach out and DM people that are in a high status and see what happens. And, make it your point that you're going to connect with some very successful people, and you're going to ask them to mentor you. Just, ask them, hey, how did you get to where you are? How did you start out? Because like I said, you'll be surprised more often than not. I mean, not always, but if you're persistent, you will get people that are willing to mentor you and teach you and show you, because they already have more than enough. They're ready to overflow. Right. And they know that they need to be giving back because they have a conscience. Everybody has a conscience. I'm a spiritual person, right? So these people that are already very successful, they know that they need to be giving back. So when an opportunity, and you can be that opportunity for them to give back, you can be that opportunity. When you approach that very successful person, right, and maybe they haven't done their good deed for the day, just you asking, hey, can you mentor me? Can you give me some advice? They know they need to be giving back. They've got a conscience. It's oftentimes they will pour out into your life. They will just pour into your life. And it's incredible. It's just incredible. And you can latch on to people. You can really latch on to people, and you can become more successful and more like the people you want to be. Who you surround yourself with is who you're going to become. And again, I told you at the beginning of this show, that's why one of the reasons why I do this show is so I can surround myself with experts, and I get all this incredible, knowledge from these super, successful entrepreneurs. And it rubs off on me, and it's incredible. So I get to bring it to you guys as well. And like I said, just seek mentorship in your entrepreneurial journey. Seek mentorship and find somebody that is way more successful than you, and latch on to them and let them mentor you, because they will be willing to, because that's their duty. And in a sense, they're gonna. And not everybody. Sometimes people will shut you down because maybe they haven't been humbled yet. Maybe they are riding that wave and they still think that they're the shit, and they don't want to talk to anybody, and there's still people. And you know what, maybe one day they're going to go through a humbling experience before they can come back up, and maybe they won't. But personally, I've been on both sides of it, guys. I've been riding the wave, and I've been full of pride and everything, thinking I'm better. And I'm 35 now, and I've realized you can't do that. You cannot really think of employees as less than. You cannot think of yourself as elite. If you want to be successful, you should serve your way to success. You should really serve your way to success, like Gladys is doing today. She's willing to go ahead and give you something for free. She's putting herself out there. She's going to do work for free, and then maybe she's going to tell you some things, and then if you can't figure it out on your own, then that's where she can come in for a fee and help you with that, right? But see, if you're just in there trying to pitch people all day long, and you're DMing people with your link to your services, you're just going to get blocked. People are not going to really respond if you're just trying to pitch them all day long. Like, what value are you bringing? What value do you bring to the world? Are you serving? Are you actually willing to put yourself out there so that you can do, more like an attraction-based marketing? Wow, this person, and then it makes you the expert in the field. All of a sudden now, wow, she can do a a free LinkedIn profile audit, she must be a pro, right? And then obviously I'm not as good as she is. She's already positioned herself as a pro. Now you can do the same thing. You can position yourself as a pro in whatever field. And if you know just a little bit more than your prospect, you're already a pro, right? Because you can do something that they
Mm.
don't know how to do. So you can really position yourself and brand yourself that way. So again, just speaking to the audience, final thoughts. We're about 30 minutes now. We're going to wrap it up. But final thoughts. What would you like to leave the audience with today, Gladys?
All right. So in relationship to just what he said earlier, um, you know, the thing that I found out that most successful entrepreneurs have in themselves is they always come from a place of help, right? They always give value for free, so that if you give, you'd receive more than that in the future. I mean, you receive even 2 times or 3 times more than that in the
Right.
future. So just come from a place of help. People will see the value that you can give them, and then people will start reaching out to you as well. So yeah, I think that's the final thing that I want to leave the audience. And by the way, about the community that I was talking about earlier, where six-figure income freelancers are lurking, we are actually open. We opened the enrollment last Monday, and it will be opened until tomorrow, June 5th. So if you want to join, just check out my profile. I have some links there, and I have some personal bonuses if you register through my link. So yep, if you're interested, go ahead and click on my profile and check that out. All right.
Great. And final thoughts from me, guys, is just aim high in your life,
Mhm.
enjoy the journey, and help other people do the same. I mean, just do that. Do that. And when you start finding that success, give. When you start finding that success, go find somebody to pour into and give knowledge, give
Mm.
time, give resources, give money, give back, give some of your money back that you're making to your community. Let's build the Philippines up, guys. Let's not just make 20, $30,000 a month or whatever in the Philippines and keep it all for ourselves. Let's give a ton of it back, because guess what? There's no shortage. We live in an abundant universe and there's so many opportunities. So my advice to you is aim super high, like super high. Just go make millions of dollars in the Philippines, hundreds of millions of pesos. Just do that because it's available.
Mhm.
Aim super high. Enjoy the journey. Don't sacrifice your sleep. Okay, get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Use automation. Do that, you're on the right track. And always give a thanks to your creator, because obviously we owe him a thanks, don't we? Okay, guys, we're
Mhm.
going to sign off. I thank you for watching and be looking forward to the next episode, which is this Friday at 5 p.m. And we've got Rudolph. And I'm trying to remember his last name right now, but he is an e-commerce giant in the Philippines. He drives a yellow Lamborghini, and he's going to be on the show, and we're going to pick his brain and get some amazing knowledge from him. So tune into that this coming Friday at 5 p.m. Manila time. Thanks, and I hope you're having a great day.
Bye, guys.